Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Clint Wallace.
I'm Matt McNamara.
Thanks for tuning in Tuesday with us. Robert's in the mediation today, so I'm going to play the host. And today, it's the last week of session in Florida. And so we've been monitoring bills throughout the session process to see anything that can impact our practice areas. And Matt, you have some experience. You used to work over there. Can you kind of just, some people may not know generally how that process works.
Okay. Yeah, I've had experience working for the House of Representatives on the Judiciary Committee, and it's very good experience getting to see how all of that plays out. It's certainly not a very straightforward process. But at the most basic level, when we talk about bills being passed, laws that are trying to be passed in the state of Florida, you have to have a bill that passes the House, and you have to have what they call a companion bill, which is basically the same bill that has to pass the Senate side too. And both those bills have to pass, and then the governor actually has to sign that bill into law. So if you're out there reading articles about a bill that passes the House that pertains to something you're interested in, make sure that that's not all that needs to be done. There's still potential that maybe the Senate bill hasn't moved, so it's not going to become a law, or maybe it's not one of the governor's priorities, so he actually vetoes the bill when it gets to his desk. So at the most basic level, when you're looking at laws that might interest you and whether they're going to become laws, just make sure they pass both chambers. And once session's over, the governor can start signing them into law, so then make sure that gets signed into law. So generally, they have about the July 1st for the governor to sign something into law. So, it's good to see that things move along, but certainly there's more steps in the process.
Okay. Good.
And I'm just going to jump in really quick. So we have about 50 new followers this week, and so there's quite a few people watching right now. Just to explain to them a little bit about what Facebook Live is when we do this every Tuesday.
Yeah, and, thanks to everybody for signing up to watch. Every Tuesday we get together and we talk about legal issues that impact our practice areas, which again are personal injury, employment law, and workers' comp is what Matt handles for our firm. And so we're here to field questions. If you have questions, feel free to comment, call, or email at any time. We're always happy to answer any questions that we have.
And give you fun facts like how session works and how bills pass.
Yeah, right.
We
need the, what was the show with the bill that danced on the,
yeah.
Was it, Conjunction Junction?
Bill, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, I'm dating myself back to the 80s there. But one of the bills that we've been watching in the legislature right now is something called mandatory bodily injury insurance. And it's something that we're really hoping will pass this year. I'm not overly optimistic with the analysis that I read today that is going to pass, but it's important, we think, that Florida does pass that. And what that is, a lot of people don't know, drivers in Florida are not required to carry bodily injury coverage. That's the type of insurance you need to carry in case your negligence injures someone. Okay, so lots of times we have people that call us, and the person that hit them, calls their accident, calls them to be injured, doesn't carry any insurance. Florida's one of 2 states that doesn't have that. So we're hoping that the legislature will do the right thing and require all the drivers in Florida to have mandatory bodily injury. On that note, whether it doesn't pass, the current situation, the only way to protect yourself is to have uninsured motorist coverage. So that way, if somebody hits you and doesn't have any insurance, you got coverage there to protect you. So that's always our advice. We'll be monitoring that, and next Tuesday we'll report back on whether it made it out of the legislative session for the governor's signature. On that note, transitioning, we have spring break starts next week. I know a lot of people watching have kids in school like we do.
You got a question real quick. Sorry, he says, sorry came in late. If you already covered this, is PIP going away?
There's a question about whether that could be. It's part of the mandatory bodily injury. I don't think that it will this year, but it's been on the table now for a couple of years, possibly with a replacement that has something called medical payments coverage, which will give money there to pay the hospitals only, not for chiropractic or massage therapy type treatment. So that's a good question. We're following that as well. Spring break. Spring break starts this week. My kids are at Kate Sullivan. They're jazzed up and excited about spring break. We're actually taking them up to South Carolina. I've got a real little baby at 8-week-olds. My wife's taking them up to South Carolina, and we'll get some help with the grandparents over the weekend. And she and the kids are going to stay up there next week while I come back and do some work. So, you got any spring break plans, Matt?
No spring break plans. Certainly not going on a cruise. I don't want to quarantine off the coast for a few weeks.
I know what you will be doing during spring break, but I also will be doing that as an NCAA basketball tournament. The ACC basketball tournament starts this week, but the NCAA tournament starts next week during spring break.
Maybe we do like a Scott and Wallace bracket to try to get the viewers involved.
You know what? That's a good idea.
That's
That's
a good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah,
We'll have to
just
call
came up
Megan
with that.
about
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that yet.
Okay. Well, tune in for that. We're gonna have a competition. Okay. Any questions about session or spring break?
No more questions right now.
Everybody drive safe. Remember, Florida has the texting and driving rules now. You shouldn't be doing that anyway, obviously, but you can now get a citation for texting and driving as a primary offense. So if you're driving somewhere for spring break, don't text and drive. And if you have any legal questions, always feel free to call us 222-7777. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, see you guys.